circuit contact.
Drifting is a sideways evolution from traditional motorsports. Each driver competes for points given out by a select panel of judges. The three major scoring criteria are line, angle and style. Together they form a score out of 100. Line is a racing line marked out by clipping points. Drivers need to consistently hit these areas to score maximum points. Angle is how much rear slip angle a car produces. Competitors need to engage as much opposite steering lock as possible to receive a higher score. Style is a combination of driving technique, showmanship, brake application, throttle control and overall driver ability. Teams and drivers have 2 laps in qualifying to start the competition. The top qualifiers move through into a seeded battle tree, battling through each bracket until the top 4 drivers compete for the final podium. A drift battle requires each driver to take turns leading and chasing. The lead driver's objective is to match or better their performance in qualifying. The chase car's objective is to get as close as possible to the rear quarter of the leading car, using it as a mobile clipping point. The judges' lineup for the 2019 season features a wealth of experience as Brendan Dunker returns as line judge. More than 15 years in the sport, a D1NZ veteran and series technical advisor with 35 points up for grabs. Dan Mackey is back again, based out of Sydney with the High-Tech Drift Australia Series, another driver with more than 15 years experience. He's been a drift judge since 2013, as well as joining the lineup for the annual International Drift Challenge as part of World Time Attack. Our third and final judge for the weekend is former Pro Series driver Zach Pohl. Based out of Auckland, driving a new 900 horsepower RB28 Nissan S15, Zach joins us as style judge for the weekend. More than 10 years in the sport with experience overseas competing in the BDC, as well as some iconic wins during multiple D1NZ campaigns against the one and only Mad Mike Woodard. Well, round 3 brings us to the northern Waikato as the chase at Hampton Downs Motorsport Park gets underway. It is the halfway mark of the 5-round championship. The points race is heating up before we head to Pukekohe Park Raceway in just 2 weeks' time. This weekend, though, we are drifting on the 1.2 kilometre club circuit. We're out of the concrete stadiums and onto the faster racetracks. It's still a standing start, though, off the line, 2 outside clipping zones to start the scoring section. Judges will be looking for fast switches and big angle off the straight. From the outside zone, it is through the centre section. Speed and consistency in flow is important this weekend. Drivers need to find the fastest line between this late inner clip and second inner apex on the left, flowing out wide on the right hand side of the track before switching through to an outside zone on the left hand side, and then putting the power down to dive through to the final inside clip to finish the course. And there is the judges lineup and track rundown for the weekend ahead. It is round 3 of the 2019 D1NZ Drifting Championship Series, Hampton Downs Motorsport Park this weekend. Tune in live thanks to Blacklion Tyres.
Okay, we will get ready. It's going to be Gargan Kang who will take it on for his first run. Let's see what he can do. RB30 power plant, big weight shift. Scando's in to the right hander, washes out wide, comes through, tries to hit the inside click. Looks like he's done it nicely. Slightly offline. Needs to be a wider line coming in out of the first section as Brendan White rejoins us back here in the commentary booth. Back out to the big sweeper to finish, and this is going to be our first run in pro for round number 3, the chase, Hampton Downs. So a big thank you to the team from Panhead as well. Tried one of their drops the other day, not bad.
Yeah, they actually sold out in Wellington, so that was good to see. Now, this guy, both Gargan and Jesse actually had whoopsies, or Jesse had one at Bay Park.
Certainly did. Big happy birthday for yesterday to Jesse Greenslade. Today wasn't the greatest start to his day. They went through, checked the tyre pressures, possibly forgot to do up the wheel nuts, maybe, on this beautiful R35. And the left rear came off. Let's have a look. Line 17, angle 23, style 16, 56-point run for Gargan Kang, first position, first car out. Let's have a look at the second car though, and it's going to be Jesse Greenslade.
Yeah, so Jesse actually had to rebuild the engine this week, detonated it last week in testing, so it's been a big week for him and Carl Thompson. So here we go, the NZ Girls, D1NZ S15, Pariah on the side, switches through, nice angle there from Jesse Greenslade coming into the first clip. Bit of a hammy there, back on the loud pedal. This is what Zach Pohl wanted to see. He's an RB lover because he's got an S15 with an RB in it as well. Switches back through, hits that inner clipping point, Not as fluid on the first part of the section that we wanted to see, but still better run there. Oh, good angle there from Jesse as well. Steve, not too bad of a run.
Not too bad of a run, slightly offline in a couple of different places. And here we go, in line 23, angle 22.5, style 18, 63.5 for the first run for Jesse Greenslade. First place, check out at Jesse_Greenslade_drift.
All right, Geordie Cole, take it away, Steve.
So Geordie Cole, the Coastal Spa and Police RX-7, certainly one of the funny guys of the D1NZ, joining the Pro Championship. Absolutely dialing on angle coming through into this, out of the first turn here. Needed to be maybe 1.5 meters further up the track. Let's see what he can do. Comes through and sets himself to try and take on this inside clip. Working the rear end of that car, dialing on a bit more angle, comes off his clip, but he gets back on the loud pedal and comes through and finishes the lap.
So after that, we've got the, usually it is a Mustang, but there you go, Geordie Cole, 22.5 for line, angle 25, style 20, so nice, 67.5, currently in first position. We'll see that a lot as the field comes through. It was a random marble draw for this one, so it wasn't reverse championship order.
I didn't even realise that.
It was a random marble draw, so we haven't done this in, or have we? No, random marble draw. It just so happened that Cole Armstrong still got the end.
All right, let's have a look at Liam Burke, what he can do as he goes into his first run of qualifying for round number 3 of the D1NZ. Measure up flooring, 2JZ power plant in the bonnet of that S13. Big thank you to Cooper Tyres and Pukekohe, and also the tyre sponsor for the Measure Up Flooring S13 pilot, Liam Burke, our Pro Sport champion last season. This season, jumping up into Pro in the Falcon. Good to see for me that he's gone back to it. Let's have a look at Liam Burke's score. So 21.5, angle 25, style 21, and a run of 67.5. Current position, first place for Liam Burke.
All right, so if you guys are just tuning in, it is the chase at Hampton Downs, and in 2 weeks' time, Pukekohe Raceway. DKM Fabrication bringing to you the home of drift. It's the big one, that 200 kilometers per hour. You know, it's the one that everyone loves to come along to because you feel the rumble, you sit in those big grandstands. That is the one to be at. There's a VIP special going on right now with our international driver, Jake Jones, as well.
All right, well, we'll certainly find out a little bit more information. Do log on to D1NZ.com to find out more about the grand final as we go to the mount shop. Rattler Falcon. Shane Allen, he is. This is home for him. When I say home, the team, literally, they've got their workshop only less than 500 metres away. And nice angle to start. Coming through, sets himself. This is fluidity, and Shane Allen doing a great job as he powers out of that final section. Just under 900 horsepower. Well, I've said 71, you've said 75, 67.
Whoa, okay,
I'm
my
closer.
bad, my bad.
Only 4 off. I'm getting better.
Yep.
24 angle, that's where he was scored well on angle, though. That's 26 and a 17 in style for third place for Shane Allen. I just got a message from Dan saying, you guys going to start trying to score this one here like you did last time just to show how bad you are, Steve?
Oh, yeah, so that's it. If you are at home, we play this game every one, so try to score it. Currently, we're only in the 60s. Jerry Zoo in the NOB S15. Bit of a shallow bobble there, but big angle coming in there. Is that going to hurt him? He gets off the lock.
I don't know if it's going to hurt him. I think that's actually going to improve his ride. He's just got to hold on to it as he sets himself up, comes slightly offline. A little bit shallow through here, but that was a nice start, in my opinion, coming through. But actually, that has really started to cost him coming into this next section. We'll power through with that 2JZ power plant, making 1,000 horsepower. The NOB builders, the OG drift, is Jerry Zoo. Judges can do.
Look, I say this every time. 44.
What?
Ooh.
Who are they judging?
Wow, 16,
Oh,
16,
wow.
and
That's
11.
because of the line and angle, or else it would
Right.
have been exactly what I said. Style was 11.
Now, it's still really cool to see Jerry Zoo. You know,
We were both like 20 off.
he got sucked in to a crash behind Gargan in Wellington, and it was horrible. I was standing right there. But cool to see him still in the sport. Andrew Redwood, another one. Nankang Tyres, FCRX7, the Angle King of D1NZ. Dubbed so many times, he's won that at the annual awards dinner. And this is why, ladies and gentlemen, stacks it on into the midsection. Really nice out of the second point. Nice through the midsection again. Hits the inner clipping point. Andrew Redwood, the Nankang Tyres FCRX7 on form.
Absolutely backing it in as he fires it through this final section on the loud pedal and comes to stop. That wasn't a mistake.
Yeah,
I'd
really
say
sad for
78
Josh. There you
would be what I would score. What would you score? Oh, there it is.
Oh,
What is it?
yes.
Line 27, angle 28, style 20. Look at the angle 28. Run of 78 points, first place, Andrew Redwood, qualifying round number 3 of the D1NZ.
All right, so Joel Patterson up here now in the little AE that could. Drove it to Wellington, drove it to Bay Park, drove around Wellington, drove around Tauranga, then drove home.
Yeah, they parked it up, went for dinner. There was about 3 competition drift cars, all with warrants, registrations, and current warrant fitnesses as well, parked up, going out to have a meal in the middle of town in Tauranga. Let's have a look at the 2 rooks. AE86, wrong 86. Now he's great at dialing on angle. Is he going to do the same? Oh, there goes the window net flapping. Oh, look how much handbrake he had to pull. Gets out there. I wonder what the judge is going to say as he sets himself up for the second turn here at Hampton Downs. Running the inside line, tries to grab the inside clip and ride up, using up every piece of racetrack he possibly can, and having a shorter sweep is certainly going to help Joel Patterson.
I don't know if the judges are playing safe. They're probably just scoring it as they see it from their point. So,
well, let's see. I said 81.
I said 75. You're
yeah,
going high,
I reckon he's top spotting us.
Oh,
what do you think? Well, the second place.
We're still second, yeah.
68.5.
Yep.
Andrew Redwood just obviously
angle like that.
Look at that.
Yeah, look at the angle. Ooh, good angle
so
score.
Zach Pole and Dunker that are scoring low today. Let's have a look at little Stewie Baker in the Link ECU. 1.5 JZ S13 as Stewie fires it into the first turn here at Hampton Downs, works it up the track and sets himself up for the second turn. Mid-track entry, will try to grab that clip, is well off it. And we'll see if he can just snap that car back to grab the outside. Well, I don't know how Zach Pole's going to be thinking about this run here, but little Stewie.
For those asking, is Zach Pole
to start
judging?
Scoring like
yes.
I like him to, and everything will be fine.
We welcome our guest judge, Zach Pole, this round. 54. 54 for Stuart Baker.
That's close.
What did I say?
I don't know. I said
60
50 something. Did I say 51?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Line 1918, 1980, 17. Sounds like about the year I was
All
born.
right. Now this is going to be a shared car, and we've got Troy Jenkins up first, and then we will have little Ben Jenkins.
Little round 2 winner Ben Jenkins too. So this one here, Troy Jenkins, he's got a point to prove. He's like, Maddie's won a round, so is my bro. It's my turn here, Hampton Downs. And it's pretty close to home for this team here as Troy just sets that car up, grabs it inside. Look at the angle. I'm pretty happy with this run here. Just off that clip there, but comes through and will ride out the section. I love
on the live stream there. Third position for Troy Jenkins, 20, 25, and 22, 67.5 still.
So style and angle, not too bad, 67.5 for third position. Troy, I think, has got to be happy with that. Check it at Team Jenkins Motorsport. This time it will be the Mag and Turbo S13 of Bruce Tannock. His first run of qualifying for round number 3. One thing, of course, Bruce Tannock, he won the last round here that we've run here a couple of seasons ago for Pro Sport, going on to win the championship from memory, and then he also came second. He was always going to be the first driver to go and win both. That can't be done again under current rules, but a great first up run for Bruce Tannock in the Achilles Radials Mag and Turbo S13. That was a clean run. I mean, I'm sort of somewhere in the 60s, probably mid-60s for me. Wow, though, the judge has gone a little bit higher. Angles where he got it, 28 points. So line 24.5, angle 28, 19 in style, 71.5 for second place, Bruce Tannock.
All right, so we would have seen Ben Jenkins here, but because they're sharing cars, it swats through, and we go to Adam Davies now. The Mimico 180SX, the only Rotang in Pro.
The only Rotang in Pro, and he winds it up. Slightly offline, but I'm pretty sure Adam can regather his thoughts and get back on the loud pedal, dialing on the angle. Judges will be loving this one here as he sets himself up for the second turn, three-wheeling as he comes through the second turn here at Hampton Downs. What can the little Ryko 24/7 Mimico machine do? The 180 powering out with that 13V turbo power plant into us.
Now remember, if you're tuning in at home, what we say is just gospel. First position, here goes 79 for Adam Davies.
Angle score 29, style 25. First place for the Team DSR pilot Adam Davies. Well, if anyone can just come out of the box and beat that has to be Vincent Langhorne. Drift God himself, brand new car. Look at back it in. Vincent Langhorne. He's like, this is just like a club day. I'm going to go and have some fun with this, but I'm going to do it in round 3 of the D1NZ. Vinny, What is he going to do as he comes through that second section? That's how you hit a clip. I don't care. Well, he's still on the track. What a wild run from Vincent Langhorne, firing through this last section here into the third turn, out of the sweeper.
A couple people asking what happens if Troy and Ben come up against each other.
Wow, they're 74.5, third place, line 24, huge an angle of 26.5, style 24. Vincent Langhorne at euphoric_motorsport comes through second position. Now this car's been driven by everyone. Jaron Olakrona's turn, of course, normally driving the Parts Trader NZ machine, this time in the Cactus Vape Pro Sport car.
So has he had any testing in this? He hasn't.
He's had one run, or maybe two runs, just at the end of Pro Sport qualifying. Slight bobble, but set himself up quite nicely. Let's see what Jaron can do. He's used to campaigning a S14, slightly different power plant. It'll be a lot quieter under the in the cabin of that car right now.
Well, look, it's a championship fight, and these guys are hunting those points, so it's great to see.
He only finished at midweek, had engine problems after the last run. Let's have a look at Jaron Olakrona. Line 21, scored down with a 22.5 in angle, 19 in style, 62.5 for 11th position.
Look, you still got to be stoked with that, Steve. You know, you're in a borrowed car. Unfortunately for him, his gearbox is gone, but you know, your points on the board, 11th position.
If he was in his car, that would have been 99 points.
Now, this is a new car you're seeing on screen for Carl Thompson. But I did hear him test, and then he has pulled off and shut it down. Now, I don't know what that means. We see the grid staff just talking to him now.
Shut it down normally means he stopped the car. So I see Adam Davies going over to check it out. Geordie Cole.
Right, a few
Geordie
questions.
Cole's like a miniature version. You know, tattoos all up the arms and stuff, just like Geordie Cole, except Geordie Cole's about 3 foot shorter. 3 foot shorter than Carl Thompson.
Right. Yeah, so I'm just impressed that Chad's car is doing a triple duty right now.
I just wonder if they actually asked Chad.
Yeah. Chad's a really giving guy. He loves drifting and he supports a lot of people.
I haven't seen Chrissy here, so she's watching on the live stream. Hello to you. Hope you're enjoying yourself here. There's Jaron also going down to check things out. So what have we got now? Well, we're going to go straight to Dana Templeman and the Zic Motor Oils E46 BMW having his first run for the Panhead qualifying, round 3 of the D1NZ.
So that potentially means it's a 0 for Carl's first run, potentially?
Did he move forward?
I didn't hear him scrub.
Have we got a pull-out zone? Just because you've scrubbed. Let's go. We'll come back to it. NZ Motor Oils on the side and backing it in nicely. 2JZ power plant, 1,000 horsepower. It's Dayton Templeman as he works through, comes up, tries to hit that clip and sets himself up. He was looking fast, looking very racy out here earlier on the day. He certainly knows his track well. Good line.
Really good line on the clip. The judges want to see too. Bit of a bobble there, but comes through. Now, I've got to mention that Dayton Templeman is actually underpower. He's done a head gasket, I think.
All right, let's see what the judges have got to say. 73-point run for Dayton Templeman, 24.5, great angle, 26.5, style at a 22 for 4th place. That was Dayton Templeman. This is a 2-time New Zealand Drift King in the Ford Mustang RTR by Century Batteries in Castro, New Zealand. It's Fanger Dan Woolhouse. Let's see what he can do. One of only 2 left-hand drive. Oh, 3-wheeling. Absolutely smashing on the angle. Hits his inside clip like no one else. And again, he's just 3-wheeling it. He is loving it out here today. Fanger Dan Woolhouse, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Fanger. He's going out and doing the business. Just a pull of smoke coming out the back end.
I'm going to chuck it out there, 85. Let's see if they actually... I just want them to... Look, he's gone straight back to the burnout box to do some more skids. How rad. Any update in your ear about Carl Thompson?
No update at all. I'm on the... we've got multiple different channels that
we work on at the track, yes, we know.
So what I'm going to assume is that Carl Thompson's probably going to run at the back of the pack is what my assumption is.
Right.
Via... Big thank you to Joe, of course, who's just said, Steve, this is the go. I try to make it sound like I know everything, but in actual fact, it's just wonderful people like Joe and Mackie and Nico.
Yeah, up in the judges box. Here we go. Ooh.
78.5, 0.5 of a point behind first place. 27 on line. Line was good. Angle was great. 26. Style at 25. The 78.5 run for Fanger. Dan Woolhouse second place. They grabbed an extinguisher to put a fire out. Let somebody in a suit do it.
Yep.
But let's look at the pack and save. Botany Downs S15 RB32 power plant. It is Ben Wilkinson as he throws it into the first turn. Not as much angle as I would have expected out of Benny Wilkinson, but we'll see how he goes for the rest of the lap, comes through, runs it nice and high, sets himself up to try and grab that inside clip. Might have been a little bit off, but still nice angle as he comes through into the, and that one was aggressive. He wanted aggression. He certainly got it as he drives through out of the sweeper.
You can win a hot lap with Darren and Jake Jones. There we go. 24, 27 and a 22.
That's 5th position with 73 points for Ben Wilkinson at Wilkinson Motorsport. Check him out on Instagram. All right, D1NZ. Let's have a look. No change in the top 5. Still Davies, Woolhouse, Redwood, Langhorne and Templeman. What can Dave Stedman do in the Max Mufflers Ryco 24/7 Mimico S14? That RB30 power plant gets the thumbs up and gets told you can send it all the way down that front straight and into the first turn. And wow, that's about as wide as you're going to get. Might be slightly offline. Judges won't notice because he's from Tauranga. Gets through, sets himself up for the second section here. So not the greatest start for Dave Stedman. Needs to maybe follow in the footsteps of Adam Davies, who's at the top of the leaderboard at the moment. But gets down, I mean, it's going to be points.
Obviously, so a lot of Maddie's crew is not there. Whoo!
Wow, 21.5, 24.5 and a 20 in style. A 66-point run for his first run. Dave Stedman, 13th position currently. Let's have a look, though, at Matty Hill, the Australian, the Performance Automotive S15 2JZ. Under the bonnet. Comes through, sets himself up, lays it up for the first turn. Gets it nicely locked up and heads up towards this outside clip. And he's right up there. He's only about half a metre off. Sets himself up again to go through the centre section here into turn number 2. Inside clip. Well, he's certainly got that fluidity. Maybe a little bit high as he comes through that final section, but hard on the gas. Exactly what we're going to see.
Yeah, I bet that tripped you out because you didn't know when you were.
Well, here we go. So line 26, 26.5 in angle, and 22 in style for a 74.5 point run. 4th position for Australia's Matty Hill. Well, let's go to this in New Zealand R35 Skyline. It's Darren Kelly behind the wheel and sets himself up. Starts smashing through the gears very early. Commencement in there and backing it in. Check out the angle of Darren Kelly. That's why he's at the pointy end of the championship. Absolutely throwing it in. He's got no third gear, so he's probably running in 2nd and 4th. Bang, crash, smash, but hard on the gas pedal for Darren Kelly. Vortex is off that was the last big score we really saw. Darren Kelly, 24.5, 29 in angle style with a 25, 78.5 run. He's equal 2nd position for Darren Kelly with Fang at Dan Woolhouse. Well, this man here in the V Energy G36 Skyline with the RB32 power plant, 2 times New Zealand and defending champion. It's Cole Armstrong. A new car debuted today for the D1NZ. What can Cole do as he fires it in to the second turn here at Hampton Downs, round 3. It's the chase. Pro Sport brought to us by Galore Parts Group. Firing it through the last sweeper here. Big smoke, good angle. I mean, I don't even know what they're saying because I'm not reading it, but I agree with you guys. Just keep paying out because that's what we want to see, passion in the sport. Cole Arms, that's terrible judging. 23.5, 27, that's great in angle. Style with a 21. 71.5 for 9th position. He's from Tauranga, so am I. They've just ripped him off.
Yeah, 9th position there for Cole Armstrong, but those bobbles would have hurt him. Now we've got Ben Jenkins in this car. Big handbrake there. He just maybe missed the gear or he's just not familiar with the setup. Troy Jenkins obviously came out already. This is a shared moment for Troy and Ben. Ben just really not comfortable in this car. He's got to just bank his score and he'll be potentially in the game. Here he goes, finding his groove now. Pushes on through on the outside clip.
Wow, comes through the sweeper. You know what's happened here, Brendan White? You said he just wants to put up one score, then get the car away. 21st position, 16, 19, 18. 53-point run for Ben Jenkins.
Big hello to Mike Davey tuning in from Tauranga. Mike Davey,
Mike
hello.
Davey, how are you, brother?
So this is really unfortunate for Carl Thompson. He won't be banking his first pass.
Well, hang on. That's okay. That's the first, isn't it?
Yep, this is his first.
So we do return for the second.
Yep. So scrubbing Gargan Khan in the Black Bull R32.4 currently at the moment. Now, for everybody at home on the live stream saying, judges, where are they at? Now, you've got to remember they're not scoring really highs like we would want, say a 90 or high 80s, but they are being consistent with their scores in the low. So the guys we are seeing doing good runs are quite high up in the bracket. Now, if you move that bracket up, then it is higher. But so we may second pass see some of those scores that we want to see, but obviously they're judging criteria. We're going to have a chat with them and tune in tomorrow if you can't make tomorrow at the track, and we will get their thoughts and their opinions on where they're scoring.
Don't tune in. Come along to the track. You don't get drifting better than seeing it live, and this is a place to watch it. The Chase, round 3 of the D1NZ. It's the Black Bull Liquor R32.4 of Gargan Kang behind the wheel of that machine there, and powering through the first section, comes out through the second turn. He's filling up his zones, comes through that final clip, gets aggressive, has to make a slight correction, but powers out through the sweeper here. Will it be better than his first run?
Or face for TV because you're on it. Stepping up to pro this year as well in this RB powered monster.
Well, it certainly is. Let's see what he can do. Jesse Greenslade, well, he's firing it in all right. Certainly did a lot of work during practice, made a couple of mistakes, but if you're not making mistakes, you're not trying hard enough. You make them now so that you can improve later on in the day, and let's see how he's going. I don't think this is a 79-point run at the top, but hey, I think this is certainly a lot better than what he was. Again, fluid, good angle.
This is his second run?
This is his second run. So
this is it.
Yeah, so this is what, let's have a look. 20 on line, 24 on angle, 17 on style. It wasn't as good as the first run, but it's going to be a current position. 18th place for Jesse Greenslade.
All right, so for all you Falcon S15 fans out there, all the Falcon lovers globally, this is Carl Thompson, his new manic beast. He's been working non-stop around the clock to get here to Hampton Downs, the Chase. He's been practicing non-stop, back to the track, back in the workshop. You've got to give it to his team and his family. He's out there. He needs to bank a score on this run. This thing is an amazing machine. He's been quite fluid. He pushes wide here.
Wow, I think he kept that on. Look how he has absolutely backed it in, going through into the sweeper, gets onto the loud pedal. Powering.
All right, so again, a big hello to the judges there as they come up on screen. Dan Mackey in the centre, Zach Pohl putting his score in the live scoring, and Brendan Duncan to the right-hand side of your screens. Coleman, our official judges manager there. Carl Thompson, 21.5 from line, 24 for the angle, and 23 for style. Currently, that is him in 11th position.
11th place.
Pending what happens in the
and did you see though, and his little girl, big photo of him and his little girl. She's just beautiful. Charlie in the pits as well, his little man. Anyway, let's go to the Coastal Spartan Pools FCR X7 of Geordie Cole. Not a bad start to his first qualifier. He's going to want to improve from that as we come into the second turn here for round number 3 of the D1NZ. Of course, the D1NZ Pro Championship brought to us by the Galore Parts Group. What can Geordie Cole do as he powers through the final section here of Geordie Cole making his way back into the pits? What is the score going to be? Wow. 26.5 for line, 27 an angle, style of 25, 78.5. That's another equal score, current position. Number 2, second equal, Geordie Cole.
Congratulations, Geordie Cole. Liam Burke, the Pro Sport winner, and the measure up. S13 comes on in. Stacks on the angle now. You always see it at turn 1 at Hampton Downs. Oh, but a big upset there for him. Handbrake and pretty much a clutch dump to try to
really
get going
quick
again.
to come through, settle the car down though to actually. Wow,
Ooh,
what is that?
That is a gravel trap.
That's a gravel trap.
He must have been having something going on with that car because you could see it when he was coming into the first part of the section, and you could see it in the mid section. So something not right there for Liam Burke. Unfortunately,
he couldn't even grab a gear, so maybe he ran out of gears in that box as such, So he's come through. This looked cool. And then he made what looked like a mistake, settled the car up, a bit of handbrake, a bit of everything else, and then he gets back on the loud pedal. But at this point here, as he backs it back in to try and bring the car into, was that a brake in the front?
But you pass, mate. It's always hard to
it might have been a tyre failure, I'm hearing.
No, you're not giving my phone number out. We should give out Warren Sears' phone number. Let's do that. Hang on. Where's Warren's phone number? Anyway, we'll do that in a minute. Shane Allen, another person looking to get that better score up. He's a bit further down the tree in the Falcon Mount Shop Rattler. You'd usually say Mustang, but it's the Falcon. He switches on through. Usually has a heaps of angle. There you go. Here comes the angle from Shane Allen.
Well, Shane Allen, he lives close to here, dialing it in. He certainly knows this track better than any other driver. Maybe the only one who might know it better than him would be Mad Mike Woodhead. As he comes through, I can see the hearts. Absolutely, they're just destroying Brendan White on the live stream. That's what we like to see. That's what we want to see here. But drifting's where it's at right now. And Shane Allen, my man next to
Hello,
his heart.
Mitch Gibbs. We've got Shane Allen, 26 at 28.5 and 18, 72.5. So he betters his first run, which is great for Shane. Currently in 10th position provisionally, and I'm really interested to see what this is going to spell for the battle tree later.
Well, we'll find out, but Jerry Zoo will be the next one up in the NOB Building Supplies S15 2JZ power plant under the bonnet of that machine there, 1,000 horsepower. Ooh, and that's not a great way to start for Jerry Zoo, but get on the loud pedal, Jerry Zoo. Blah, blah, blah. Into turn number 2 anyway. It's a cool looking car. Certainly, yeah, it's very Carl Thompson-esque when you see them up close. If you remove the stickers, they look very close together. Carl Thompson,
and you know, he's an exceptionally nice guy, so we want to see them up in the pointy, and you always want other people to have a go and get it up there. So commitment, another person committing here. 17, 14, 14, 23. So 45, very low for
just
Jerry Zoo.
destroyed on angle and style.
Now it is a top 24, so he's just in there. So he will battle one of the top qualifiers, and one of them could be this man right here, brought back by Waimate 50, the Nankang Tyres FC RX-7.
Certainly is. Oh, and that is the wildest angle we have seen all day. Andrew Redwood behind the wheel of that FCRX7. Let's see what he can do as he comes into turn 2. How much lock has he got? He's got all of it. Hard on the gas. Certainly putting on and aggression aplenty here at round 3.
Me and you are just people on the microphone. We're not judges. So I'm going to score that one a what? In the Panhead qualifying, as we get told.
I'm going to say it's at least good enough for a 78.5.
78.5.
Yeah, that's
okay. I'm going to go for a 72. I could be completely wrong. You know, that's why we need Kenny back here. 78. Steve, you got it right. 27.5 and a 23. 5th position for Andrew Redwood.
And it matches his first run.
Ooh,
Well, just everyone
78.
else got a 78.5, so I thought Andrew deserved one as well. I think we've got 3 people on 78.5 in second position. It's Joel
I want
Patterson.
Joel to do good. Come on, Joel.
Well, if you don't. Oh, that's what I want to see. This is all about style right now. We're just going to drop the. Look, the face isn't smiling on the front of that A86. No, but I mean, that's fine. There was no straight line there. That's definitely close to. We're looking at a 100-point score here, surely.
But I imagine that he probably heard the bumper on the ground and he probably wondered what it was and had that quick back into it.
All right, well, it's little Stewie Baker's turn to have his second run of the day. The Link ECU S13 1.5JZ power plant. As Stewie comes through, nice, clean, tidy run. I mean, it's a hard one with Stewie because he just puts in just constant laps. I mean, they're not always spectacular, and we think, oh yeah, that's going to be a mid-score. The judges come through and say, well, that's exactly what we want to see. It's going to be a high score. Final turn for little Stewie Baker. Powers out. 62.
All right, so we're a bit giving. 22, 23.
21st.
Punished in style, unfortunately.
So this is Troy Jenkins this time. His car. Blue for Troy.
Yellow for Ben.
Well, it's the Brian Roberts Towing Toyota's Galore GT80. Oh, and that is a big malfunction. Something's broken off the left front of that car there. Just pull out of it. You can see those front wheels certainly not doing the job. What happened? You can see something literally snap under the... it's almost like it's just jumped back into position. But there we go. We can see it at the bottom.
Yes, you can see it, Steve. You are right. His steering... Yeah, his tie rod. Yeah. Steering rack or in the end tie rod, whether it's broken a mount or something. Okay, watch here. TTR replay
here.
Switches through and switches and looking under the car right there.
There's the sparks, bang, and then you'll literally see it just. So it looks like it's probably bent or.
Real unfortunate because Ben Jenkins needs to jump in that car ASAP as well. They're both bank scores though.
They're both bank scores. So if they want to, Troy could essentially say, "Nah, bro. Nah, you're not qualifying. I need to go and fix it." You can just keep your lower down the order point score.
They've got a great team behind the Toyota's Galore GT86s, so no doubt they'll be gapping back to the pit as we speak to try to get that fixed.
Yeah, what a good driver, though, to actually go up and go, you know what, I'm going to try anyway. So that was a 0.
Yep, 0 for Troy Jenkins. So we'll see if they come back. As the next driver up is Bruce Tannock in the Magan Turbo S13. Big thank you to Bruce and Kylie for doing some amazing awards this time. Kylie has her own little machine at home and made some cool awards, which we'll see later on in the live
So those are the
stream.
trophies for round number 3 of the D1NZ. Yep. Well, let's see what Bruce can do. That's a nice start.
It is. Good angle there. Slows a bit of, scrubs a bit of speed, but manages to power it back.
And a big aggressive switch back to come through the sweeper here. Really trying to make the most of the no smoke scrub. 70 points, 11th position. Not as good as his first run. 25.5 in line. Good angle, but absolutely hammered in style with a 19 for 11th place. So Bruce Tannock certainly going into the main show tomorrow.
Now, if you guys want to come along to Hampton Down tomorrow, gates open at 11 a.m. here at
Tickets
Hampton
available
Downs
where?
facility. On D1NZ.com, they will come off sale very shortly, and they are available on the gate. They're more expensive on the gate. Adam Davies, the Mimico 180SX, switches on in. Beautiful angle there. Can he maintain the fluidity? He does. Nice around turn 1. Stacks on the angle. Nice. Pushes wide. Is he going to be aggressive on his switch? Really, it was aggressive, but a bit of a handbrake there. Drops on down into the inner clip. He's not as wide as we want to see. Will he stack it on here? Bit of handbrake again.
I think the judges are going to be happy with this one here, though, as he comes out of the final section.
Fan, hit that love button right now.
76.5.
There we go. 24. Good angle score there, obviously, because he had very good angle.
So it was Brendan Dunker
Look
who
at
actually
that.
scored him well than he should have, because that was definitely more of a 27 on line. Well, here he goes, the drift god himself. It is Vincent Langhorne in the Cooper Tyres Mountain New Euphoric Motorsports. Brand spanking new for Vinny. Oh, look at him just dialing on the I've got lock. Look at that thing go. Vinny Langhorne, he doesn't care. He just goes out and does skids. Do skids, hit clips, get points, Vincent Langhorne. That wasn't a straight line. He was hard on the, essentially whatever they want.
All right, there you go. If you're a sign rider in the house and you want to support Vincent Langhorne and put
I'm
some
a brown
colours,
boy, if you know any big brown people maybe, or somebody else.
They get the drop there. 6th position for Vincent Langhorne, 67, so doesn't better his first pass of a 74.5, 19.5. He did well on angle, as he did, because he had huge angle there, but not so much on the other two categories.
Well, let's see what Jaron Olive Kroner can do. Normally campaigning the Parts Trader NZS14 with the V12 power plant. This time it's going to be a 2JZ power from the Cactus Vape car of, well, everyone's car today. Jaron Olive Kroner gets hard up on the gas, hits that clip there, just miss the inside coming through. See the Inspire 1, get out of the way, Jaron. Comes and hits the inside clip a little bit wide. Dirt Turbo coming into the final turn. So I'm not sure where he finished in the first one there. In their qualifying, they've had to draw each other. So Russell Veer sadly has to pull out because it's not his car, or Chad said so, I don't know. 18th position anyway for the Chad. Now let's go back on. It's the Ford Mustang RTR Spec 5D with the Rush Chase 436 cubic inch, 900 horsepower V8 with Century batteries and Castro in New Zealand, Mr. Three-Wheeler, 2-time New Zealand champion himself. It's Fanger Dan up on 3 and powering out through the first turn. Watch this car go as he sets himself up. Who needs 4 wheels? Fanger does it on 3. Just screaming. Listen to that. Roush Yates go, all 900 plus horsepower, and 3 wheels back up. It's like a tricycle, this car here.
Spec 5D Mustang, 90.5, ladies and gentlemen. We cracked the 90s.
33 in line, 31.5 in angle, 26 in style for a 90.5 run. Absolutely smashing the competition. First place for Fanger Dan Woolhouse. Well, that's going to be a hard one to back up if you are Ben Wilkinson. The pack can say Botany Downs, he's 15. He's just getting waiting to be told. Everyone else was at 78.5. 78.5 Fanger moves the scoreboard by 11.5 points. That sounds like he's starting in a pretty high gear. What's going on there for... Well, you'll settle that car down anyway and enter the right-hander very, very wide. Ben Wilkinson, his second run of the day here at round 3 of the D1NZ. The pack can say Botany Downs is 15. Let's see how aggressive he can be on that snap back into the final turn. Launches it into the right-hander, hard on the gas and certainly dialing an angle.
Class for us, Science Supplies, New Zealand Pyro Company Fireworks, Casper Transmissions, round 1 sponsor, TTI Gearbox, Mimico, which is the grand final sponsor, D1NZ Vapor. There you go.
26, 28, 22. That's how it was for Ben Wilkinson. 76.6 place current position. Let's go to the Waikato 24/7 Minico S14. Dave Steadman in the RB30 power plant, powering out through the right-hander here at Hampton Downs, comes through and fills the clip, dirt turbos his way through. That's how you hit a clip. Let's see what he can do as he comes through the centre section here at Hampton Downs. Round number 3, of course, comes through. We want to see a lot more aggressive also, but he's still three-wheeling as he comes through into...
After qualifying, check out the top 10 as we go. 22, angle 26, style 21, current position 13th. 69 does better his first pass for Dave Steadman in the game. Matty Hill, Performance S15.
Well, let's see what he can do. Matty Hill, the Australian in the Performance Automotive S15. Whole lot of handbrake, comes a little bit high up the track, but gets on there, tries to hit the clip, certainly grabs that one there as he settles the car down and goes for the centre section here at Hampton Downs. Matty Hill, he certainly knows how to win rounds, but now he's chasing a championship as he fires through out of the sweeper here. Smoke show galore. Matty's drifting. Let's have a look. 25, 27.5 at angle. Style for 22. 74.5 in the second run, matching his first 7th place for Matty Hill. Next will be the Nissan New Zealand Nismo R35 Skyline. He's got no third gear. It's Darren Kelly. Starts off by running a wheel off. Look how far he's backing it in. Darren Kelly. He's going for Angle King tonight. Today here, Hampton Downs for round number 3. Again, huge angle. Hitting his clips as well, though. I wonder what the judge is going to think. Fanga Dan pumped through a 90.5 score for first place. I don't know. There goes the judges. They're all deliberating. So in front of them, they've got... hey guys, how's it going? So in front of the judges, they've got a cell phone essentially, and they've got the app in front of them, and they push the score, and that goes through. So no one actually knows, apart from the judges, what they're scoring on.
Correct. So it's all done on the phone. So and then they watch the replays if they need the replays. They deliberate about it. But remember, they're all looking on their own criteria. So one guy's looking at what he wants for the style. One guy's looking at where the line is, and one guy's looking at what he wanted around the angle. So Cole Armstrong, he won a championship in this round. He's our last qualifier. Then we are done for day one.
85.5. Look at that line. 27.5. Angle 32. Style for 26. Second position with an 85.5. So Cole Armstrong will be the next. He's been sent. Ben Jenkins will follow. What can Cole Armstrong do? His second run of the day. Well, he's trying to back it in. He wants to not just emulate but beat his teammate. He's got the new car out. He's got big horsepower, we know that, and this man can drive. He's a 2 times and the defending champion. Cole Armstrong slightly off his clip. He's going to be marked down for that one there, but look how wild I'll drive. All right, let's see what they think. 24.5 for line, huge on angle with a 30. Style is 22. Run number 2 for Cole Armstrong, 76.5 for 6th place. Well, here's the last car of the Galore Parts Group Pro qualifying for round 3 of the D1NZ National Drifting Championship. It is Ben Jenkins in the Toyota's Galore GT86. This is the same car we saw have an issue with the left front. They've obviously fixed it, and this man, he won the last round. He's in an unfamiliar car. It's exactly the same as his one there, but it's a car that I don't know if he's done a lot of driving of. His brother's car, Troy, let him get behind the wheel. Blue for Ben this time as he powers out of the final circuit. A nice, clean run for Ben Jenkins.
Yeah, great to see Ben come back out and get this car fixed. We dissected the last run of the day. TTI stacks on the angle here, nearly backs it in the Toyota's Galore GT86. You see the front wheels have a slide bobble, but still he pushes nice and wide. Are we going to get an aggressive switch here? Not as aggressive as we want, but nice and fluid. Drops down on that inner clipping point, ladies and gentlemen. Pushes wide, switches on back through. He's on that clip. The judges want to see what will the judges score this. We are going to have a quick chat to them very shortly about some of the things they thought in qualifying. What will little Ben Jenkins get? The round 2 winner.
The round number 2, of course, he won at Max Motor Speedway down in Wellington. This time it's the chase. Round 3 here, Hampton Downs. We've got the judges in front. They're just finishing off. They're about to send through their scores. We'll have a brief chat with them. Wonder if Dan Mackey's got a score. It looks like he has. He's got his 2 fingers up because he's the second best judge. I know that's just a logo.
Can you hear me there, Steve?
There we go. We've got Mackie on the line. Mackie, can you hear us?
Hey, how you going? Yeah, we can hear you.
Lovely, lovely.
Yeah, sorry,
Have
we
you got
can
us
hear you,
this
mate.
time? That's what I want to know. I think the guys in the crowd can definitely hear us.
Well, that's good. I mean, they
Yeah.
need to. So, look, hey, great to have you here, of course, coming over from Australia as you do. Qualifying, how was it for you? That pass of Fanger, Dan's huge.
Yeah, Fanger really threw down there. He put just maximum commitment into his angle. Certainly maybe a couple of the guys will address that tomorrow morning's briefing, that they had a little bit too much angle in that first corner. It's going to cause a little bit of contrast and issues if once we get to battles, so we'll be asking them to reduce that in our battle practice, in our battle briefing tomorrow. But certainly, for qualifying, it's all about throwing down hard. As Zach said earlier in the day, we want to see the guys throw it, really throw that angle on, and just send it. So, Fanger really did that. A couple of the other boys did as well. Cole and Darren throwing down there at the end, and little Benny Jenkins just getting out there and having a cracking run at the end there as well. So good to see.
So a lot of 78.5 point passes. I mean, it must have been quite difficult. And those weren't because one person's you were all scoring the same. There was like high on line, high on angle, a lot going through. Different.
Yeah, look, there's heaps to watch. So, Ben's score coming up there, scored quite well in line and angle and pretty well in style. So P5, I think he'd be happy with that after the last
So
round.
30 points in angle, Dan, that's your Y30.
Y30, look, he just made a couple of little errors. There was some slightly better runs out there. Certainly coming out of the first corner, he was a little bit shallower on angle than we'd seen out of some of the other guys. And he just made a couple of adjustments going into the last corner there. So I did tell the guys in briefing this morning, I wanted to see them just throw it straight onto angle and then hold a consistent and constant angle with no corrections through that last corner. And the guys were getting a little bit caught out with that this afternoon.
All right, so I know Brendan's got a couple of questions he wanted to ask.
Yeah, so you're angle judge for the fans at home, is that correct?
Yep, that's right.
So we've got Zach, if we're looking at Zach's to the left of us, he's style judge, but line judge on the right-hand side, Brendan Dunker. So Fanger Dan, provisional poll, we haven't had the official, there we go. Hello, Brendan Dunker.
Let's bring him in, eh?
So bring it in. So let's hand the mic over to Dunker and let's have his thoughts on qualifying. So Fanger Dan, P1, that RTR Mustang, what an animal out on track. Obviously impressed you as well.
Yeah, it's exactly what we wanted to see. We watched a couple of passes of Fanger Dan's in practice, and again with a lot of the other drivers as well. And some of the guys were putting together some really good lines. When they came out for qualifying, it looked like possibly cold tyres were hurting them a little bit, and they're kind of falling off line for myself anyway for the scoring. But wow, Fanger's run was what we wanted to see, and to be honest, that's probably the highest line score.
Who needs four wheels, eh?
A long time. Sorry, Steve?
Who needs four wheels? You only need three if you're Fanger Dan.
Yeah, it was amazing, and it was a golden run. It was exactly what we asked for in briefing. He put it together, and it ticked all the boxes for all of us. And yeah, it was awesome.
Right, so we've got a newbie to the right-hand side of you, our left, so we're going to chuck it over to ZP. Zach, first of all, thank you for coming in and being our guest judge this round. You've come over to the dark side and you've seen, obviously, from a different perspective for the fans at home. How was it being in the judges' seat for the first time?
There's a bit of pressure on. I think it's really about maintaining consistency and just keeping that through the pro-ams to the pros, and I think it's probably why my scores are quite close together. I think the pros, they're a level above the pro-ams. It was good to see. Interesting to see it from the other perspective. When I'm driving, you kind of don't really get to take in what actually happens behind the scenes, but obviously today I did. So no, it's been a good experience.
So Zach, you're the OG giant killer. Are we going to see you back behind the wheel of that S15 here with the D1NZ? Actually, before you say that, live stream. Who wants to see Zach Pole back? Show us a heart. Zach, are you coming back?
I guess that comes down to if someone can give me some tyres. Yeah, I'll be here. So,
so you want tyres, fuel,
the S15
and a sponsor.
is ready, and it's ready to go. So yeah, it's as simple as that.
All right, I'm wondering if we have the top 10 ready so we can have a quick look at that. There
Big
we
thanks
go.
to the judges.
Ladies
All right, so in
and
10th position, Vincent Langhorn with a 74.5. We go to Matty Hill, again 74.5 in 9th. Ben Wilkinson with a 76 from Cole Armstrong, a 76.5. 6th place, Andrew Redwood, 78. Then we go to the two drivers on 78.5, Ben Jenkins and Geordie Cole, the top 3.
Adam Davies in that Mimico 180SX, the Rotang, doing it for the Rotang 79. Darren Kelly in the Nissan R35, 85.5. And then a massive jump, 10 points above the 3rd position. Daniel Woolhouse in the
Ford Mustang RTR Spec 5D with a Roush Yates 436 cubic inch 900 horsepower V8 by Castrol New Zealand and Century batteries.
There you go. All right, judges. Any last remarks there from the judges on the top 10?
From my perspective, it was Fangers and Darren were absolutely setting the benchmark. They were doing what we asked for. This thing working?
Yeah, no, you're good.
Yeah, sorry, Fanger and Darren were doing exactly what we asked for. They were pushing the car, basically to its limits and maintaining a fluid drift. There was some runs that probably could have scored higher if they maintained the fluidity, and there's a bit of adjustments going on. Some of those runs could have been 29:30s if they really got it together. But I think there's some 27s in there, and there's some serious driving. So that was impressive.
All right, and now just chuck it over to Mackie. Mackie, we're going to go to battles tomorrow for the fans at home tuning in the live stream. If you guys aren't here at the track, Hampton Downs, gates open at 11 a.m. Battles, we've seen you that you can actually dive in. What are some of the things that you're going to look for these battles tomorrow? Because we won't talk to you until we're into battles tomorrow.
Yeah, no, exactly. We changed things a little bit in the battle briefing, obviously, because you've got a second car that you've got to try and fit in there. So we'll tighten it up a little bit. We'll make sure that they're not diving into turn one, because diving into turn one kind of makes you sort of more of an A-frame through there, and you miss that clip. So it's going to be important for them to follow through. The chase car is going to be allowed to actually miss that first outer zone, so they can drive through that and then initiate onto that the left-hand outer zone as they go into turn one.
Sorry, Dan, can I just ask, is that so you can give the RB a chance, RB engines?
RBs don't need chances, mate. You know that. But yeah, so the reason behind that is just because we want to see them when they get into the real nitty-gritty after that entry of that first corner. We want them right up on the door all the way through. From then on, it's just going to be about chasing and trying to stay on that quarter panel between each of the transition areas or into the corners. And then again, we're asking the guys today to be laying themselves up and giving plenty of room for that chase driver to then gain back up and get into that pocket. So we'll be looking for what we call a really chaseable lead. So the guys really need to hit their clips and their zones in the lead. If they don't, we'll mark them down quite heavily. And then that then offers up for the chase car to be able to sit in pockets. And by sit in pockets, I mean up on their door, right in on that quarter panel, and get a really good battle for everyone at home to be able to see some mad battles tomorrow. So obviously, if the chase driver does get presented a good and chaseable lead, they will be expected to put that chase in and get up on door tomorrow.
And we saw that in Wellington. We saw that some people actually just didn't give a good lead. So you actually gave it to the chase driver who maybe did a couple of mistakes over the lead car, but you clearly scored it back towards the chase driver because of that. So, you know, you can only have a good chase if you have that really good lead, and so many drivers do that.
That's exactly right. I mean, you saw some of these guys, you know, you don't want someone like a Fanger Dan or a Darren Kelly who set down really good qualifying runs to then go up against a sketchy lead run that's really hard for them to follow. It's not where they've been practicing at. It's not the line they've been hitting. So it makes it hard. The lead car obviously is a clipping point and they're expected to follow them, but we allow for less of a deduction for the chase car effectively if the lead car is offline. So therefore they'll score higher. So yeah, as you say is correct, Brendan. It's really important for a lead line to be chaseable, and that is that it has to be to the qualifying judged line.
Right, awesome.
So look, it's I've just been told that
we're getting the
scored.
wrap up.
No, he scored a 90.5 point pass for first place. Let's bring him in.
Oh, here we go.
Dan Woolhouse.
Woo. Take the seat, mate.
Let's thanks, judges. So actually, maybe judges. What did you guys think of Fanger's score? What have you got to say? Are they might no. Okay, we'll just see if there's a. There we go. There goes me. There goes you. There goes the judges. Welcome, Fanger Dan Woolhouse. Good to see you, mate.
Thank you.
Okay, let's just cut to me and Fanger. I want to talk about this run here. These guys, Fanger, a great run, 90.5, three-wheeling it.
Yeah, I definitely threw everything I could into that last run. The car is just working better and better. Every time I jump in it, I love it. It's I'm just blown away like how far we've come, you know, in the last 18 months learning left-hand drive. And you know, these cars are a beast, you know, like.
Well, look here, let's have a look at your run.
There's only 3 cars in the world that drive like this.
And
so.
that's you driving like that right now. Watching you come through, hitting your clips. It's like Fanger Dan doesn't need 4 wheels.
Yeah, it still does to get fast enough to get up to the initiation. But
and how aggressive. It was like, okay, we're probably running out of track. I'm just going to switch now.
Yeah, we like I say, we definitely threw everything we could into it, and but what we've found as competition goes on from morning till the afternoon is learning how much the track grips up and how much we have to tame the beast down is what we're trying. Like, as you can see, it's not going as wide as we want. Sure. It's hitting the clips, but it's still fast. It's actually too fast.
Well, you can see that in the fact that you had to...
Like we want a little bit of leeway, especially when it comes to battles. So we need to learn what the car does in the morning to what the car does in the afternoon.
I mean, I watched you.
We're getting there.
Look, when we used to see you, and you were an open face helmet man. Now you're a closed face, but it almost looks like we can see a bigger smile on there when you can't even see you through the helmet these days. Look at the angle. Yeah,
definitely. There was I couldn't breathe the throttle. It was flat down. I couldn't hit the limiter. Like, you know, I like to get a little bit of limiter in between as I switch. But no, it just couldn't quite get there. It was too hooked up. But I definitely could put all the trust into the car.
Absolutely.
And really push it on the entry. And, you know, I just want to back that thing in and pop that front wheel as high as I can get.
Well, it's not just trusting the car. A lot of it's trusting your crew because they're doing so much as well while you're out there driving and etc. You've got to come back, feed them the information, make the suitable changes.
That car it's got a big part of my team, you know, and they can really watch it and go, hey, we need to do this with that car because you're not quite getting to here, and that's where the judges want, you know. And I know because I come back and I'm like, man, got my foot hard into it and I can't quite get to that clipping point. So it's a lot to learn. But, you know, 2 P1s from Wellington and to this round, we just need to make it all happen in battles now, and that's what we're working towards.
Well, certainly. Look, watching it on the live stream is one thing, coming down to the track tomorrow's another, isn't it?
Exactly. You know, like tomorrow's game day, we just take each battle as it comes, and you know, my guys, you know, they'll look at where we came from this morning to where we finished up this afternoon, and we'll come back tomorrow and we'll start here, and let's hope we sit on that top step.
Well, congratulations. 90.5 was the score. This man right here, of course, Vanger Dan Wilhouse. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us for round number 3, the qualifying day of the D1NZ National Drifting Championship. You guys want to tune in tomorrow, please do so. If you get a chance, come down and see this man right here, the man who sits on pole position tomorrow. Of course, the D1NZ. I'm Steve Daniel, part of the commentary team. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Good night.
See you guys.